everyone. I hope everyone is having a good time, and thank you so much for taking out time and being over here to understand the process, the project, different options available. So as the topic of discussion today is EB5 process and priority processing. You have already heard my introduction a couple of times now. So I will introduce my company and how we have been a game changer in EB5 world in the past two to 3 years. I will come to that. But before that, I would like to walk everyone with the process. What are the steps involved? What are the timelines involved? And how priority processing helps in that particular thing. Now, the first question is, what is priority processing? So you already know me. Everyone has introduced me a couple of times, so you already know that. My name is Abhishek Singh. I'm representing EB5 United over here. EB5 United is one of the leading fundraisers in the new laws. We have more than 160 I-5 260 approvals, plus 13 green card approvals in the new laws. Anybody wants to meet me in person to discuss in detail, you have my number over there. I have a booth over here. I'm staying till 21st night in ITC Kohinoor. I'm based out of Pune in India, and I live out of a suitcase. Around 200 to 250 nights a year, I'm traveling. Hyderabad, almost every month I'm here, mostly in ITC Kohinoor. Please get in touch with me if you want to discuss in detail. I will come to my company and what have we achieved over the years and how we are different and what all we bring on the table. But before that, to start with, I would like everyone to understand what exactly is EB5 process, how it works, and what are the steps involved. And when you talk about EB5, from where you should start and what you should expect in the entire journey. Now, as everyone has mentioned, that EB5 is an investment immigration visa, wherein one investment is for one family. One investment is one petition, which covers one family. The definition of family is husband, wife, and unmarried children below 21 years of age. Anybody, either the husband or the wife, can be the main applicant. Two things which is very important, and it's going to decide the entire course of journey for you. Number one is going to be your source of funds. Now, the source of funds, every penny that you invest in EB5 has to be sourced. It's the spine of your petition. Any decent regional center will not accept a single dollar from you unless and until you have done your source of funds documentation with a very good attorney. Now, how it's done? You hired an US immigration attorney. You tell your source of funds to that particular attorney that these are the different ways my money is going to be coming. The attorney in return will send you a list of documents that you need to procure at your end. You procure all those documents, send it to the attorney for a review. The attorney reviews all that. And then when he's 200% sure of your success, then he will give you a green signal. Go ahead, remit your funds. This is a time-taking process that it might take, from 2 to 3 weeks to 4 to 5 weeks. This particular process can take. That much time is good enough if you're not already researching in projects, but you can still keep choosing, looking for options and choose a project at that given point of time. Now, once the attorney has given you the green card, selecting a project is a topic on its own, so I will cover that later. First, let's assume that you chose a project and your attorney has given you the green signal, and now you have remitted the funds to the escrow account of the regional center. Now, the regional center issues a receipt to your attorney, and with the physical copy of the receipt plus but there will be a lot of forms that you'll be filling in. With all that, your primary petition, which is called I-526E petition, is filed. Now, the journey ahead completely depends on what kind of project that you have invested. As we were discussing in the panel that, I understand it's not a race, but everybody wants to complete this process as fast as possible. There are different reasons for that. Everybody wants to get to a conditional green card so that they can step inside the US with permanent residency and start living over there, start working over there, start doing whatever they want to do. Be as good as a citizen. Just 3 things you cannot do as a permanent resident: that you cannot vote, you cannot run for public elections, and you cannot join the military. And I highly doubt that you'll be interested in any of those. But, so I-526E is your primary petition. Priority processing, this word you guys are hearing, that's the topic of discussion. Now, if you are investing in a project which qualifies for rural TA, then you are subjected to something called priority processing. That means your petition, which is called I-526E petition, will be processed faster than the rest of the people. How fast? If you would have asked me this particular question a year and a half back, I wouldn't have a clear answer for you. But now, very confidently, I can tell you that it can be as fast as less than a month, 29 days. It can be as fast as 132 days, 140 days, 32 days. So we have seen applications being approved in whatever timelines I have just told you. Like the first Indian to get approved in the new laws hails from Hyderabad. He is an H-1B visa holder, our client. The first Indian from India to get approved is again from Hyderabad. And he got approved in 48 days. On an average, you can consider if you are investing in a project which has the initial approval and the project qualifies for rural TA, then with priority processing, you should have your I-526E approved somewhere around 6 to 9 months at the max. After that, you are subjected to something called consular processing. Now, consular processing is a small interview which happens only in Mumbai. You travel to US consulate with your family and you carry your passports. You submit your passport over there and that gets stamped with something called immigrant visa. Now, that immigrant visa is given to you for 6 months. The validity of that particular visa is for 6 months. Anytime during that period of 6 months, you can travel to the US, anywhere in the US with your family. As and when you are crossing the border security, crossing the immigration, they will stamp your passports with something called PR. From that particular moment of time, you become the permanent residents of the US, and the green card that you receive at that given point of time is called a conditional green card. Now, that conditional green card has a validity of 2 years. 90 days before the validity expires, another petition is filed, which is called I-829. Now, this I-829 is a petition to remove conditions on your green card. So what are the conditions? Number one, your money should be there in the project for minimum 2 years. That's called the sustainment period at risk. And the project did what they were supposed to do. That means creation of jobs. Now, a good project will give you good prospects of job creation. A great project will have jobs already created for you before you even invest. That's the reason, companies like us, we have a 100% success rate when we talk about I-829 approvals. We have a 100% success rate when we talk about I-526E approvals. But still, for you to have a good night's sleep, we provide you with something called I-526E denial guarantee. For any rhyme or reason, if your I-526E petition gets denied, you get your investment back within 120 to 180 days, depending on the project that you're investing in. Once you have your I-829 approved, then you get your permanent green card. Once you have your permanent green card and you have spent 5 years on a trot in the US after getting your conditional green card, minimum 183 days per year, you become eligible to apply for citizenship. So this is a process for people who are filing from outside the US. Now, why priority processing is so important and how it changes the entire game. See, the amount of time that is taking for you to get your I-526E approval can be 2 years, can be more than that as well. On an average, if you are applying in a project which qualifies for rural TA, you cut it short by, you can get approved in 4 months, 3 months, 6 months. On an average, 5 to 6 months or 9 months. So that drastically changes your timeline. And it gives you a push if you are looking to achieve the conditional green card status, if you are looking to achieve the permanent residency status as soon as possible. Now, if we'll go to the slide which states how, if somebody is for example, your kids are in the US. For example, if you're looking here, considering that you want to file for your kid, if you have somebody, some relative, or your children who are going to or is already studying in the US, then this is what the process that they will get into. Same thing, the main applicant, can be, your child or anybody who is in the US legally can be the main applicant. Selection of the projects, source of funds will remain the same. But what the advantage they have is, with their I-526E petition, they will be filing I-485 as well. That's called adjustment of status. And this particular process is called concurrent filing. Now, adjustment of status is a bundle pack of 3 petitions. That's I-485 plus EAD, that's employment authorization, and advanced parole, which is a travel permit. Now, what is the benefit of a green card? Now, the benefit of a green card is that your presence in the US is not tied up with your employment. Now, you don't have to keep working to be in the US. You don't have to depend on an H-1B status to be in the US. That's what green card gives you. Even if you don't want to do anything, you can just stay in the US with your green card. That's what EAD gives you. Now, this EAD and advanced parole with concurrent filing should get approved within 3 to 4 months of filing the petition. At the max, it can take around 5-6 months of filing the petition. So this EAD gives you the power to be in the US without working as well. If you want to start your own business, you can do that. If you want to hop jobs, have multiple jobs, you can do that. Even if you don't want to do anything like that, you want to continue with your H-1B and you just want to have something, see, living in fear is one of the worst feelings. So when you have an EAD with you, you can just keep it in your back pocket and be relaxed. Anything happens tomorrow, I shouldn't be scared because I have got a security of EAD with me. Moving in and out of the country, traveling with H-1B or any kind of visa is a hassle. Now, with advanced parole, travel permit, you travel hassle-free. So these are the two big benefits that you get out of green card, which if you are in the US legally and you're filing concurrently, then you get EAD and advanced parole pretty quickly. That means you are getting the immigration benefits pretty quickly. That's the difference. Rest of the process will remain the same. You will get your I-526E approved, then you will get your adjustment of status done. Once that is done, you get your I-829, once adjustment of status done, you get your conditional green card. Same thing, valid for 2 years. 90 days before the validity expires, another petition is filed, which is I-829. Approval of that gives you your permanent green card. Same laws for citizenship. Many people talk about, plan it ahead, and I completely agree with that. But there are some scenarios, over a period of time I have understood. For example, you are the only son, and you are over 21 years of age. Obviously, parents want to do this for you. Now, but when you are in the US and your parents are in India, you would love your parents to stay with you, right? They can keep traveling to you on B1, B2, but on a permanent basis, they can only stay with you once you will petition them. You can petition them only when you become a citizen. Now, if with priority processing, you really cut down on time, so you achieve citizenship way more faster than a normal case. And once you have the citizenship, you can petition your parents. So that's how you can have your parents with you as well. So this is what the process is, and this is how priority processing helps in that. Moving ahead, we have 2 projects as of now. One of them is Lakefront. I'm just going to give you an overview of the projects that we are offering as of now. And I would, you have my number. We have our booth. You can meet me in person. And I would love to walk you through with the details of the project. And that's how, let's take it forward. So one of the projects that we are offering right now is Lakefront Estates and Villas. Like every other rural project, the most important thing is the location. First of all, this particular project qualifies for rural TA. That means it has priority processing, it has visa set-asides. This particular project is an I-956F approved project. Now, for you to get your I-526E, the initial petition approved, your project needs to be an I-956F approved project. So this particular project is an I-956F approved project, plus this particular project already has I-526E approvals. We started getting I-526E approvals within like 15, 20 days back. Now, this particular project is construction of 1,300 homes and 780,000 square feet of commercial spaces, 1,000 single-family saleable units, 300 multi-family rental units, and 780,000 square feet of commercial spaces. The developer is a very well-known developer with more than 75 years of history in real estate, and a very prominent name in the East Coast called Accurate. Florida government supports rural investments. That's the reason this particular project comes up with $50 million of investment from Florida government in terms of CDD notes. The most important thing is that this is not a dream. This particular project is already up and running. The vertical construction has started. The jobs have already been created. So altogether, there are going to be 125 investors in this particular project because the raise is of $100 million. So for 125 investors, you need to create 1,250 jobs. Altogether, this particular project is creating more than 7,000 jobs. And so for per investor, the job buffer is 57.5 jobs per investor. Plus, this particular project is it's a lot in demand. Like the infrastructure is very much in demand. Out of those 1,000 homes, 300 homes were put out in the market for sale. And for those 300 homes, they received more than 7,500 applications. There are various reasons to that, because Florida, you do not have any state tax. Florida government provides $7,700 per year per child for you to send your child to private schools. And there are many reasons to that. On top of that, the most important thing, as we all discussed previously, is the safety and security of your money. We like to get into projects which are debt model, meaning you loan out the money. You as an EB5 investor, your money will be loaned out to the developer for a specific period of time. That also, we like to work with developers who are ready to put in good amount of money from their own pocket. That's called skin in the game. All our projects, you will see that the developer has put in minimum 50% of the entire money from their own pocket. This particular project has the lowest LTC in the entire market. LTC is loan to cost. The lower it is, the safer it is for you. It is 15.27% the LTC for this particular project, and the developer's equity is more than 70% in this particular project. And EB5 is in the first lien. That means you have the first position. There's nobody standing in front of you at the time of repayment, and if things go south, you have the first rights on the property. It's as good as if I'm buying a house today and I'm taking a home loan, and tomorrow if I don't pay the loan back, what is the bank going to do? The bank is going to kick me out, take over the property, sell it off, take its money back. You are exactly in the same position. The added advantage for you is that this particular property needs to lose at least $7,600, at least 3.5, 4 years from today for you to lose a dime, which is as good as impossible. The next project that we have is Yellowstone Club Phase 2. Now, this is the 4th project by the same developer in Big Sky, Montana, same area, after completion of 3 very successful projects over there. This is the second phase of a project wherein everybody has got their permanent residency and everybody has got their money back as well. Cross Harbor Capital is the developer for this particular project, and the location, the location of this particular project is Big Sky, Montana. Now, if you'll ask, Big Sky, Montana, as per the Forbes magazine, is the 3rd most popular tourist destination in the entire world. Again, like every other project, the developer's equity in this particular project is 59.32%. That means for you to lose a dime, this particular project needs to lose 59.32 cents on a dollar at least 3 to 3.5 years from today. This particular project is going to get completed by the end of 2026 and another 3 to 4 months for the final delivery of the houses. That's when the developer will have enough cash in his hand to pay everybody back. So the time period for which your money will be locked in a project is fairly low in this particular project as well. You should expect your money back in somewhere around 3.5 to 4 years at the max. On top of that, as I said, EB5 is in the first lien. That means you have the first position over here, and there's nobody standing in front of you for the repayment. Things go south, you have the first rights on the property. Cross Harbor Capital, an amazing developer. They have more than 30 years of history in real estate. This is their 4th project, as I have already told you. Plus, in this particular area, in the past 10 years, they have sold more than $9 billion of real estate. So both these particular projects, you can say they are the cream of the crop. Plus, we are looking at $400 million of raise. That means 500 investors. We already have more than 400 subscribers in this particular project. And as I said, 400 million in the first position. So for 500 investors, we need 5,000 jobs. We are creating more than 8,600 jobs. Every investor will have more than 17 jobs on their head. So if you'll sum things out for both the project qualifies for rural TA. That means you have priority processing and visa set-asides. Plus, you have very sound and profound developers like Accurate and Cross Harbor Capital, respectively, with more than 70% and 59.32% of developer equity. EB5 in a debt model in the first position, first lien. Jobs already created. Construction under the way. I-5 260 denial guarantee. Both these projects are fully capitalized. They do not depend on EB5 money to be completed. We already have so many investors in these particular projects. We already have I-526E approvals in both the projects. We have I-956F approval of both the projects. But still, with or without EB5 money, both these projects will be completed because the developer has signed construction completion guarantee. So yes, I'm here in the booth. If anybody would like to discuss in detail, I'm available. You can note down my phone number, and you can reach out to me. We can discuss on Zoom as well. I'm staying in IDC Kohinoor for another couple of days. If you want to meet me in person, I'm available there as well. So thank you so much once again for giving time and listening to me, understanding our project, the process. It was wonderful attending this event. Thank you, everyone.